Hello YouTube, Acewald here bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I got a standard OU battle, Sand versus Sand, with the username Phobia on Pokemon Exat. This is a pretty good battle, I'd say. Ended very close and it challenged me in many ways, so let's get started. We are both gonna start off with our Landorses, because, you know, they're just good lead to scout off with. Can just see what's coming next, and, I mean, you turn out of there. But I do not think I will be faster than him, because I have HP Ice, and the IVs aren't full. So I'm gonna switch out to Celebi, and then he U-turns me. And that completely screws my Celebi. And, leaves me with about a 6th HP, maybe even less. And then I think I can just switch out from the Scizor, but of course all Scizor have Pursuit except for mine, which is probably why I did not predict that. So I'm going to go into my Terrakion just to scare him out, and then close combat whatever is coming in next. And it turns out he's going to send his Landorus next, which is awesome. I mean, I get it down, it's not really a threat to me. Can hit it with what I can hit it with one thing, and then it'll probably be taken out pretty easily, because Landorus are pretty bulky. My bad. I'm gonna send in my Scizor now to take the U-turn. It's a crit that definitely mattered in the game. It just changed the game. That crit changed the game so much. It made me so mad. No, that crit did not matter at all. And he's going to send in his Heatran, and that's a very unfavorable matchup for me, so I'm going to switch back out, and I'm going to once again abuse my Terrakion and just scare out whatever, as he goes for Stealth Rocks, and then he goes for the Protect to scout out what I'm going to do, because he probably knows that I'm banded and or scarfed. He probably actually knows that I'm banded based on the damage that it did to his Landorus. And I'm just gonna keep going with the close combat, and he's gonna send in the only poke that can take it other than Rotom Wash with his Scizor, and his Scizor just barely tanks that. It just barely takes the hit, and I don't want to take a bullet punch. I'm just gonna play it safe and not overprotect here, and I'm gonna send in my Tentacool. And he's gonna go for the superpower here and do about half damage. Not really worried about him. And yeah, he's gonna do less than half damage. I don't know why he would stay in there, because I would just kill him off with a Scald. I would kill him off with a Rapid Spin at that. And I'm gonna go for the Rapid Spin just to get those Stealth Rocks away. Even though my team doesn't really take that much damage to Stealth Rocks, the Rapid Spin is usually just to get spikes away, or toxic spikes. Not that I really need it, but anyway. I'm going to use Protect, because I think it's banded or scarfed. And I just want to scout out what's coming next, as he goes for the Rock Polish, because I was dead wrong about that. And why would he have 2 scarfed or 2 banded pokes on his team? I don't know, but that's what I predicted. He goes for the Stone Edge. It easily takes my Tentacool out. Sorry about the garage. Not my fault. And I'm going to go into my Landorus, as he goes for Stone Edge and misses. This was like a game-changing thing right here, I bet. I mean, I would have lived with like 2 HP, but that's not really good for doing anything, and he wouldn't be scared of it. And since my Tentacool was gone, I could not Rapid Spin anything. That would have been bad if it would have hit. So he sends in his Rotom, and I suspect some kind of a Hydro Pump or Will-O-Wisp, some kind of antic. And he goes for a Will-Wisp. And because my Tyranitar is just a pro, he dodges that Will-O-Wisp like the Matrix. and then dodges another will-o-wisp and sets up stealth rocks at the same time, just because my Tyranitar is so pro. And, well, can't dodge him forever, so finally the will-o-wisp hits my Tyranitar, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Okay, now it gets hit by the will-o-wisp as I go for the crunch here. And the crunch barely does anything. I'm going to be honest, it does not do anything. And, yeah. At least the leftovers are neutralized because of the sandstorm, and he doesn't gain any HP anymore. And he's going to go with the Volt Switch, and that's going to do very, very minimal damage to my Tyranitar because of the massive SP defense. And he's going to send in his Heatran, as I'm going to go for another crunch, and then he's going to over predict here. I think I'm going to switch into my Terrakion like I have been, but I don't feel like doing that because I'm just going to leave my Tyranitar in to defeat whatever I can. So I go for the superpower, and it does an impressive amount, but I'm getting ahead of myself by a lot now. Oops. So yeah, I go for the superpower. It does a little over half, and I don't really have any use for the Tyranitar, so I figured I just wasn't gonna do anything with it unless I found a use for it and needed to switch out, which I haven't yet. So he's gonna go for the Stealth Rock as I hit him with another superpower. And I'm not really concerned about the Stealth Rock anymore, since my Landorus dodged the freak Stone Edge. That's what it dodged, Stone Edge. And I go for the superpower, and it takes it down to about 1/4 of its HP left, which is awesome for me. Burned Tyranitar is putting in some work, which is kind of unexpected. And he's gonna withdraw his Heatran, send in his own Tyranitar, as I also withdraw my Tyranitar and send in my Terrakion, which is a very favorable matchup on my part, because I can just close combat that Tyranitar, or anything else for that matter, in the face. And he decides to just send out his Heatran to take the close combat, pretty much just sacrificing, because nothing lives close combat from Terrakion except a Landorus, a Gliscor, Dusknoir, or pretty much a lot of things actually. And yeah, the Heatran's pretty much going bye-bye. And he forgets about the Stealth Rocks, I'm guessing, and then sends in Scizor. Either that or he predicted a switch and he was using Scizor to figure out what I was going to switch it into. I'm not really sure. And he's going to send in Landorus, and because that matchup is so unfavorable to me, I send in my Scizor here. And this is where I think the U-turn crit may have mattered, because I had 18 HP left, and if that didn't happen, I may have been able to take this Volt Switch. But it worked out pretty well in the end anyway, so I'm not complaining. I get a free bullet punch off on the Rotom Wash as he takes me out on the next turn with a Volt Switch. And so the only poke he has left to switch into at this point is a Landorus. So I already know that. So the Volt Switch, for the switch priority for me, is it doesn't really matter. So I don't know why I sent in Tyranitar. I can't completely remember what I was thinking. Maybe I don't know why he withdrew it. Maybe he was predicting a double switch to my own Landorus, and then was sending Tyranitar in there to clean up or something. I don't know. I would go for the crunch that does minimal damage, of course, because it's like I don't know. So maybe I think is it fourth. Maybe it's a fourth. Maybe it's just half damage. I don't know. Yeah, it does very minimal damage. As he sets up with the Dragon Dance, and I go for another superpower just to do whatever we get him down. I'm not really scared of a Dragon Dance at all. Maybe he's trying to bait me into going for an Earthquake. I don't know. And yeah, I'm just gonna go for the superpower. Lowers my attack and defense. He makes a very, very debatable play here. I'm not sure. He said it may have been a misclick. I don't know if it really was or not. I hope it was for his sake, because this wasn't really a good play. And he goes for another Dragon Dance as I go for the second superpower. Maybe he was thinking that it wouldn't kill from that range with all the minus attack that I have, but it will, definitely will. What is it, 100 power, 120, I don't know, with the ×4 super effective. That's definitely gonna kill. And Tyranitar is still putting in work. It was -2 burned. Tyranitar, all physical attacks, still putting in a whole bunch of work. As this Rotom goes for the Volt Switch again, and then he switches out into his Landorus here, and I'm gonna go for another superpower. It's like 4 superpowers in a row or something like that, and it gets a crit, which was definitely game changing. That was the biggest game changing crit I've ever seen. It was so unbelievably. That's why I won this game, and I'm thinking it's pretty obvious that I'm gonna win at this point, because he has a Rotom and a Landorus left. Yeah, he has all Rotom and a Landorus, and there's no way he can sweep my team at this point. He's gonna go for the Volt Switch just to take out my Tyranitar at this point. No, he just has a Rotom left. Never mind. And he's gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna send in my Terrakion to clean up here. And this is pretty much the game. Thank you for watching, if you're still watching this incredibly long battle. But comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you, YouTube.